remember, ignorance is no excuse of the law. So be in the know of the law. And the know of the law is sponsored by nature and equipment rental services.
Ready.
Good evening. This is your host, DG Angel, Sergeant Delrose Green, and welcome to the program In the Know of the Law. It's on Stylzfm. Stay tuned, don't touch your dial, because at the end of the show, you shall know the law. Ladies and gentlemen, this program is designed to educate persons on the sections and legislations of the law. We're still on the topic of child pornography, as it's a very wide topic, and we had expound on the topic of when you have it on your phone in a domestic way. So we are actually going to be expounding on it this evening as it relates to persons doing it as a form of business to make a profit from it. And of course, we're going to be reminding you the definition of child by law. And child means a male or female person under the age of 18 years old. And child pornography means any visual representation that shows a person who is or is depicted as being a child and is engaged in or is depicted as being engaged in a sexual activity. So we had spoken the other evening about having it on your phone as a possession, imparting it onto another person by virtue of transferring it to another phone. And of course, we also have you actually taking your phone and making this video. So we had established that that's illegal, and upon conviction at a circuit court, you could be imprisoned. This evening, though, we look at a different section of it, the section that persons actually make the video to make a profit from it. And it says, subject to subsection 2, where a body corporation commits an offense on this act, every director, manager, secretary, body corporate, or other similar officer concerned with the management of the body corporate in liable on conviction on indictment before a circuit court to a fine or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 20 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment. A director, manager, secretary, or other similar officer concerned with management of a body corporate shall not be liable by virtue of subsection 1 for an offense under this act unless the court is satisfied that 1. An offense was committed with connivance, and meaning is to allow or to be secretly involved in an immoral or illegal act. So the offense was committed without your involvement or assistance, and that's what that's saying. 2, if you had not exercised all due diligence to prevent the commission of the offense, having regard to the nature and functions in that capacity to all circumstances. A person who receives a financial or other benefit knowing that it's a result from an offense under section 3.4 commits an offense and is liable to, on conviction on indictment before a circuit court, to a fine or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 20 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment. And it's what we call in parochial terms fine and confined. Now, what is the law saying? And this hack is very, very wide. So what we can do, the Child Pornography Hack Prevention 2009, we can always go on the internet and research for ourselves. So this program would not have permitted me to tell you every section of this law. It is indeed, though, illegal. Any person or company that so employ a child, or rather someone to video a child, is in fact committing an offense. And the act is saying that it doesn't matter what is your position in the company, unless you can prove to them that you were not aware, or you did not aid and abet, you did not get involved in the video, then you have committed an offense. At no time will the child be irresponsible, because that's exactly who they are, a child, and as such the law protects them. When this matter goes before the court, the child again is protected by the court. They're the matter is actually aired in what we call an in-camera setting. And for the persons who would not have known what in-camera means, in my own definition, it's a setting that only the relevant persons are allowed to be in court. For example, the judge, the police officers, the child care and protection officer, the clerk of court, or if the person who is charged as a lawyer, well, they should have a lawyer, so the defense counsel would be there. So you would not have a member of the public, and of course the parent or guardian for the child that is involved, then that person would be allowed to be in the court. So what the law does is try to protect this child from any further embarrassment, so to speak, that this child has encountered. And it said subject, well, of course, there's forfeiture. It says subject to subsection 2, the court before which a person is convicted of an offense under this act may, and this is to seize anything that was used in the commission of this crime. Whether you're going to have a whole studio that is set up was to do it, the act is saying that everything used in the commission of this crime is seizable. So they say the forfeiture of these things are legal. It's a subject to subsection 2 and 3. The court become which a person is convicted of an offense under this act may, upon the application of the director of public prosecution, make an order for the forfeiture of anything used in the commission of the offense. Where the court is satisfied that anything used in the commission of an offense under this act is child pornography, the court shall order that the thing concerned be destroyed or otherwise disposed of in a manner as the court may determine. Now this is the interesting part, because persons would have probably thought that this can only be done if the person is found guilty or convicted, so to speak. But no, the act is not saying that. The act is saying whether or not any person is convicted of the offense, and instead of making an order under section 1. So whether you're convicted, yes or no, the fact that this instrument was believed to be used for the commission of this crime, then the act protects you in getting rid of. Now let me just say to persons that if you're in a company and you have to find a way to prove to them that you had no part of it, that is how serious this act is. I'm going to go back to a program we previously had on the fact that persons would have said, I got it on my phone, I did not know that if I transferred it to another person's phone that it's illegal. No, and that's why we're here, to educate you and to tell you that ignorance is actually no excuse for the law. So if you're going to use that as your defense, you're going to be in trouble. All right, so what do we do? And I might just go back and recap the other evening. For some reason, you got it on your phone. You're going to quickly dispose of it. I mean, delete it. And if you don't know how to delete, get somebody to delete it for you. Or if it's so gross, you report it to the police, the Child Care and Protection Agency, or make certain that it is reported to somebody in authority. Secondly, if you send it to another person's phone, that you are automatically distributing this video, and of such you have also committed an offense. Before I leave here this evening, let me just say to you that the laws of Jamaica are no secret. As a matter of fact, the Minister of National Security has been, very instrumental in speaking about a Stay Alert app that, of course, they have implemented. And the Stay Alert app is on everybody's phone. It's an app that you can use and you can download it. It has different components to it. And it has the Alert app, the Panic Mode app, the Report, and the Law Now, Minister of National Security, Honorable Mr. Montague, has been instrumental in trying to tell everyone how to go about getting this app and to keeping this app alive and active. Now, on the alert app, there are different ways that we can actually use the app, so to speak. Because if you are connected to the internet and you're properly registered with the app, and the panic alert on it, as he has explained it, if you hit the alert button immediately wherever you are, then the police is going to be alerted that this person, so it's not an app to play with or to prove anything with. So if you're connected by virtue of the Wi-Fi or whatever service you have on your phone, and you get in trouble and you hit the panic mode button rather, then guess what? The police are going to be alerted, and that is as effective as this app is. Then of course you have the law, and it shows you from A to Z the different parts of the law. It has a section called recent updates. So when the laws are updated, you are notified that Cassidy, yeah, must about 20 recent updates. You're not reading the law. But of course, it's a very, very informative